All right, so it's been a while since I've done one of these videos for you guys, as like a vlog style. But I want to kind of document this. This is my first time doing cold water immersion training, or cold thermogenesis, or what ice bath basically training, cold exposure training, and the list goes on. All the different names that people are coming up with. We got this set up right here. So it's a pretty big ice chest. If I unlock it right now, we got water inside there. I basically took the temperature this morning. We had ice in it last night, it all melted, but then I took the temperature this morning with a trusted thermometer, and it's about like 35, between 35 and 40 degrees. This is my first time going into an ice bath. A lot of people are kind of questioning, like, okay, are you using it as like a recovery thing, or is it a training thing, or is it like an ice bath, like when you see all these athletes go in after a hot workout just to cool down? So honestly, I'm going about it as a way to gain more control of my breath, as well as my body and my mind. If you think about stress, when we train our bodies, when we do lifting and everything, it's a stress. We place stress on our bodies, and in order for our bodies to adapt, we have to cope with that stress and recover from that stress and adapt to it in order to progress. I'm gonna use the ice bath in this manner to expose myself to a stress that I'm not comfortable with. I like being in the hot. I work in a hot gym all day. I like saunas. And living in Hawaii, we don't get exposed to that cold temperature very often, if not at all. I mean, 6 degrees, you'll see people in like full on beanies, sweats, layers of jackets on, and it's 60 degrees. So this is gonna be a different stress that I'm not used to, and I just wanna document it with it. I'm learning more about it as I go on as well, so I'm not like an expert on this whole thing, but I see the benefits of it. There's a lot of people out there like Andy Galpin, Laird Hamilton does this with Gabby Reese and XPT Life, Brian McKenzie, and the list goes on, Wim Hof, and this is of all these great minds who use ice bath training as a way to provide them with a stressful environment and help them gain control of their mind and their bodies in order to adapt to that stress and be able to handle it. So, like one of the great things is, if it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you. So it's definitely going to be a big challenge for me, and I'm gonna let you guys come along for the ride. So the goal with this whole thing is to also introduce myself to the code. Don't know what to expect, my first time jumping inside of it, but my goal is to try and go for work my way up to be able to have 10 good breaths, deep breaths, only through the nose, all right? Because I'm also learning about that as well, nasal breathing. So I'm experimenting with all these different variables, and I'm trying to put together so I can just experience it myself, and then learn from there, and then again, learn, create, and adapt. And so here we go. So we're gonna jump inside right now. That's cold, but was going to, breathing was all right, but I think I started getting into a panic mode when I started to feel tingling in my legs, like going that numbness, and I was probably only for like maybe 10 seconds, 15 seconds, and I mean, I could control my breathing, but I think once I started to feel like that whole sensation of tingling, like needles in my legs, my back, and it was like kind of panicked right there. So that's why I kind of got out, because I was, kind of crazy. But obviously I need a little more water. They said that you have to get the water level up to like above your clavicle. I mean, right now we're just in a big, huge cooler. So up to your clavicle, that's where all the lymph nodes are, where a lot of the benefits coming from the cold exposure and like the whole parasympathy, autonomic system, and so forth. So that'd be something that I'll add more water in the future. But I'm gonna try this one more time, and then try to see if I can cope with that stress of feeling those pins and needles coming in. So, this is different. Okay, okay. And I'm done with that. Twice. Yeah, I mean, it's a different feeling. I think it's just that I can control my breath, but it's when I start feeling that sensation of pins and needles, don't like that feeling. So something I gotta work on or research a little more. But I felt like I could really get to a place where I could control it. It's just those pins and needles, plus my ass started to get numb. Once my butt gets numb, I'm like, wait, that's a different story. So, good time is introduction to this. Again, I'm just starting this whole adventure into cold therapy training, cold immersion, whatever you want to call it, and breathing. Just want to kind of share with you guys my experiences, and maybe you guys can share your experience as well and how you go about it, how you train, because I'm just learning at this point, right, as well. So there you go. Let's see what happens.